Hey, okay, today I want to talk to you if you feel like you're just getting by, that there is so much coming at you in your work or in your personal life. And each day you feel like you're either dreading the day or you are just going through the motions, just going through the day, um, trying to navigate it with patience and presence, but also feeling like you are just hanging by a thread or drowning in everything to do or not sure if you are going to make it through the day. And that might sound a little dramatic. Maybe it does to you, maybe it doesn't, but that's what people often say. That's what how I would describe sometimes how I feel. And it's something where the last I already shared October was a little uh, lots going on. But the last couple of weeks, again, have just been heavier. And sometimes I'm not sure if I want to share what's going on because, one, like everybody's got stuff going on, everybody does. Uh, the reason that I am choosing to share with you is because maybe it'll help you. Maybe it will help you know you're not alone, and also that there is something you can do. Because one thing I will say is, I don't feel like I'm just getting by, even though it's a harder time or things are feeling heavier. And that is because I am intentional with staying balanced, or when I get off balance, get back on track, to be more resilient with the everyday stressors, to grant myself grace when I need, and, when it all goes sideways, and to pay attention. And that's why I want to talk to you today. What can help with that? If you are feeling like you're just getting by, and maybe it's a busier season or a heavier season. And so for me, the last couple of weeks, we found out that my mother-in-law is really ill, had um, like pretty serious, and have been sick. You can hear my voice scratchy, been quite sick. Um, and others in our household are having a harder time. And so there are uh, times when our teen, he doesn't want to go to school, or he's having a hard time, or he's feeling overwhelmed with something. And so also keeping that energy for someone else to be there for them. And sometimes it can feel like a lot. And I think it's more like being sick and my mother-in-law being ill, that feels heavier. Uh, and an interesting thing is that same teen, he asked for something the other day. He's like, "Hey, can we order pizza tonight or something like that?" And I'm like, "No." And then he kept asking, and I'm like, "Not tonight. We did, a few nights ago." And he kept asking. I was like, "No, no." And my frustration got the best of me. And he's like, "Why are you mad at me about pizza?" And I'm like, "I'm not mad about pizza. It's not pizza. It is all the other things on the go." And, so reset in that moment and, hey, it's not you, it's me, and handle it well after that. But I think sometimes we can feel like, hey, maybe we're being silly because we're getting upset about little things when it's usually something bigger going on. And being resilient, it is your ability to navigate the harder times, but you also build it in the good times as well, with being more present and finding the joy in each day. And I think it can feel like a push and a pull some days. That's one thing that for me, it's like, when do I slow it down? When do I push through and show up no matter what? And, for my kid, when do I give him the space if he's feeling overwhelmed to stay home from school? When do I like push him, like, no, you got to go to school? And it can look different depending on the day. And I think the more that we can, one, put fuel in our tank, put fuel in your tank, it's easier to navigate that when you have more energy and more capacity for it. but also understanding that sometimes you just got to like trust a little bit in your own gut what's the right choice and what to do. And so here are some things that can help or has really helped me this last little bit, and what might help you to be more balanced and be more resilient with whatever's going on and give yourself grace when you need. So one is perspective, um, and optimism. Optimism is the engine of resilience. It is that belief in a positive future. Things will get better. You can struggle and still be optimistic. It's not one or the other. And so, even on those tougher moments or tougher days, to just like be able to take a deep breath and take a step back and ask yourself, what's a better way to see the situation? What's a better perspective to take on? And for me, sometimes it's like, it's just, how I'm looking at something or a day or what's going on. But sometimes if I feel like I'm really in a tizzy, which doesn't happen that often anymore, because I keep good boundaries and because I say no to things, like that protects my peace. And so if you're not doing that, that really, really helps and makes a difference too. Um, but one perspective that really helps me is like, what if this was my last day live? What if this was my kid's last day? And for me, that instantly centers me. That is like, everything's all right. And it's even something when I wake up in the morning that I will tell myself, no matter what's going on, no matter how sick I felt the other day, it's like, today is a great day to be alive, because it is always a great day to be alive, from my perspective. I'm breathing, I'm here. And so whatever is going on in my day, I can find the good because I'm grateful for the day. And so that's like a bigger perspective. It's like, I don't always need to go there, but sometimes I need that bigger perspective. Or if my kids drive me nuts, like, I'm going to miss this one day. Or even it could be worse. Like, that is something that helps me remember that, to be grateful and look for the good. So perspective makes a really big difference. And that is the story in your head. That is the angle you are choosing to look at things. And perspective is subjective. So you always can choose, if you're willing to, a more empowering perspective and way to look at things. And when you do, it can help you feel better. It'll help you take better actions. And that makes a really big difference. If we look at our day and go, everything's wrong, there's nothing I can do. And I can tell you the last little bit, I'm like, I feel like, wow, there's a lot of things that are not going right. But if I focus on that, if I just see that, then I feel worse. I feel crappier and, might not get up it. Uh, but anyways, so perspective, choosing a more empowering perspective, and a simple question that can help with that is, what's a better way to see the situation? What can also help build the muscle with your perspective is hunting for the good and the joy every single day. Every single day. And I know you've heard gratitude before, and gratitude is important. And it's really looking for the good. It is like, what is good in your day? What did you accomplish? How did you show up? Where did you catch yourself if you were being impatient? What did you do to fill your cup or honor something that you need? Whatever it might be, and joy. Like, what is the good in the day? And that is something that every single day I hunt for the good and I look for the joy. And because I do not want to go through my days just going through the motions, or missing the day or missing the joy. And so, but if you're feeling down, I got to be more intentional, look for that. And so, hunting for the joy and the good every day. Focusing on what is within your control, putting your attention there and letting go of the things outside of it. So we can get caught up in all the things we're worried about, or what if this happens or where that happens. But a lot of it is outside your control. But what you focus on, where you put your energy and attention and effort, that is within your control. So that can make a big difference. And then, thirdly, doing something every day for you that is within your control. You matter too. You're a priority. So doing something that helps to fill your tank and refuel your energy. And so for me, every single morning, I will take some time just for me before my kids get up or before anyone else. And just some days it's just sit there and have a coffee and just like enjoy the silence. Some days it's reading, some days it's meditating, doing something else. But that is space I do. And then when I need it throughout the day, giving that time. It doesn't always make me feel better in the moment, but it does help me navigate my day and make things better. So, what is it for you? What helps you? Like, what are 3 to 5 things that give you a lift, give you some energy in your day? Start to do more of that for you. And the small things we can do each day make a really big difference. And then the last thing I'll just leave you with is getting better at flexing in your day. There are things that will go wrong. There's change that is happening. There are team members who won't show up and you're left that you got to do more than you expected, or a project goes off the rails, or someone you love is having a hard time or really ill. That will happen. It will happen. And so instead of letting it pull you down into this downward spiral, to be more intentional, to go, how do I want to show up this day? How can I have a better perspective? What do I really need, and honor that? Uh, how can I still hunt for the good and put more joy in my day? Because if you don't do these things, it's very easy to get pulled in a downward spiral. So that is what I wanted to share with you today. I'd really like to leave you with, don't just get by in your day. Life is too short. This is your life. Do not just go through the motions each day. Do the things that you help. If you are having a hard time with that, sometimes it's just like giving yourself some space is what you need. But being more present through your day, going through your day, having that better perspective, not being hard on yourself if you're having a harder time, and getting better at flexing in your day and adjusting as you need. And that means being okay to say no to something you thought you could do, to let go of the guilt if you are honoring a boundary, to step away from something that you just feel like, hey, you don't have the energy for, or maybe it's saying yes to something that does matter more to you, whatever it is. So I want to leave that with you today. I would love to hear what's going on for you if you want to share. And most of all, just don't settle for going through the motions each day because life's too short for that. And if you're having a hard time, you're not alone, and there's something you can do to help.